上传佛教教徒信仰吗？
The reincarnation of living Buddha is a unique succession method of Tibetan Buddhism that has continued for over 700 years, has formed rigorous religious rituals and historical conventions. The reincarnation of Dalai Lama, the Panchen Lama, and other grand living Buddhas must go through the Golden Urn lottery procedure and be subject to approval by the central government. The 14th Dalai Lama himself was searched in strict accordance with the religious rituals and historical conventions after the passing of the 13th Dalai Lama, and informed after being granted exemption from the lottery by the then central Chinese government. The PRC government implements a policy of freedom of religious belief. It has promulgated the regulations on religious affairs and the regulatory measures on the reincarnation of living Buddhas of Tibetan Buddhism to protect the tradition of reincarnation of living Buddhas in accordance with the law. The reincarnation of Dalai Lama must follow the procedure that consists of the research and identification of China, lots drawing from Golden Urn central government approval, and comply with religious rituals and historical conventions, as well as Chinese laws and regulations. It is not to restrict religion. For any religion to grow and prosper, it has to adapt itself to tradition and development stage of the country. Tibetan Buddhism was born in China, and it itself is an example of religion adapting to the Chinese culture.
Had a discussion on this, and the resolution was passed unanimously by the conference. Resolution of heartfelt gratitude to His Holiness the Great 14th Dalai Lama. On September 24, 2011, during the 11th Tibetan Religious Conference, His Holiness the Dalai Lama, the savior and symbol of Tibetans, Dharma King of the Three Realms, said, "As far as 1969, I made clear that concerned people should decide whether the Dalai Lama's reincarnation should continue in the future." His Holiness further expressed, "When I reach the age of Kendrian Trup, I will consult the high lamas of the Tibetan Buddhist traditions, the Tibetan public and other concerned people who follow Tibetan Buddhism, and re-evaluate whether the Dalai Lama's reincarnation should continue or not. On that basis, we will take a decision." Consequently, various sections of people, including the participants of the 14th Tibetan Religious Conference, Special General Meeting, Special General Tibetan Conference, Tibetans both in and outside Tibet, Buddhist brothers and sisters from Himalayan region, Mongolia, China, and believers across the globe appealed, and earnest requests with single-minded devotion was appealed to His Holiness the Dalai Lama to continue the institution of the Dalai Lama for the benefit of all sentient beings in general and Buddhists in particular. In response to this overwhelming supplication, His Holiness has shown infinite compassion and finally agreed to accept our appeal on this special occasion of his 90th birthday. Hence, during the 15th Tibetan Religious Conference held in Dharamsala, the participants of the conference, led by eminent lamas of different religious traditions, representatives and devotees, conveyed their heartfelt gratitude to His Holiness the Dalai Lama for his grandeur and kindness, and reached a consensus on the following important points. 1. The participants of the 15th Tibetan Religious Conference, led by esteemed religious heads and realized masters of different religious traditions, made the unanimous resolution to support His Holiness the Dalai Lama's precious words on this significant subject, and this statement shall be made public far and wide. Number 2, the core process of recognizing the reincarnation of His Holiness the Dalai Lama is as per the unique Tibetan Buddhist tradition. Hence, we not only strongly condemn the People's Republic of China's usage of reincarnation subject for their political gain, and we shall never accept it. Number 3, Tibetans both inside and outside Tibet made a pledge to maintain national unity of solidarity and continue to struggle for the just cause of Tibet in a bid to extend wholehearted cooperation to the fulfillment of His Holiness the Dalai Lama's noble wishes and aspirations. So these are the 3 points that we have always said, that there are some back channels which are not official. Back channels are not official. If we see a good prospect of resolution of the Sino-Tibet conflict, then it's possible that we will try harder. But right now, if you look at all the policies and programs that the Chinese government had laid down in Tibet. It's all aimed at destroying the identity of the Tibetan people, in the belief that if there are no nationalities, then there are no nationality issues. So this is what Xi Jinping's government is doing, targeting Tibetan language, Tibetan religion, which are the basis of Tibetan identity. Tibetan language is one among the 15 oldest languages in this world. We have always said that we are proud of being a repository of one part of ancient Indian wisdom, rooted in the values of ahimsa and karuna, nonviolence and compassion. So there won't be any shift in the position till such a time that it warrants, and it will be done as per the charter of the Tibetans in exile.